Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, September 15th edition of the Contributor Comms team meeting. As usual, a reminder that we operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and attendees and generally be excellent to each other. As usual, we like to offer an opportunity at the beginning of the meeting for anyone who's new to our group to unmute and say hello and tell us a little bit about yourself. You can also type in the chat, and it's also totally optional, so you don't have to at all, but I will leave that open for a minute if you would like to unmute and say hello or chat or, whatever.
Hello everyone. I'm audible.
Hello.
So I'm Vishal. I am new in this meeting today. So I am a bachelor student currently pursuing my computer science and engineering, and I'm also one of the Kubernetes member and SIG in the localization official reviewer. So I'm really excited to just get involved with this SIG ContribEx and just help with all of the contributions coming with all of you. I'm really excited to such contribute in SIG ContribEx. So I just wanted to know how can I get involved with this work or just give my contributions based so far.
Welcome. Yeah, we'll be going over
Yes.
a few projects today that could use some help and will be suitable for someone who's brand new to our group. Interesting that you're moving over from Docs. How did you find out about us, decide that you wanted to get involved with ContribEx?
Yeah, actually I just found on Slack channel and just had a talk with Nitish about SIG ContribEx. So how can I get involved? So he just suggested me to just attend today's meeting. I just added all the mailing list into my calendar. So I just attended this one. And I'm here.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you, Nitish.
Yeah. This is great. It's been a great couple of weeks for us as far as community goes.
Yep,
really has.
definitely.
Awesome.
So welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
I think the how-to question for you is show up to a couple of these, just kind of get into the rhythm of how we do work, and you'll be off and running in no time. If somebody has a better plan, feel free to speak up.
And we have two projects going on right now. One of them is an always project. One of them is a right now project that could definitely use your help. But we'll talk about those in a minute anyway, so stay tuned.
Yep, sure.
Anyone else? I don't think there's anyone else new on today.
I don't see anybody.
Cool. Let's hop into it then. We'll start off with our notes doc as usual with updates and big wins. First one, Chris.
So
You put it in there. It's your
yeah,
fault.
I know. It's all my fault. Kaslin, myself, Avanesh, we all sat down and kind of fleshed out the sub-project lead role handbook. Basically adding more specificity around abilities that are needed, capabilities that we have, and emphasizing emphasizing the stuff that you learn or you need familiarity with, as well as the whole concept of shadow eventually becomes lead kind of thing, right? Like driving that home.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people throughout the project are starting to come to that realization that that's a good kind of ladder to follow. So tell us what you think. We can always make changes. No big deal. I just merged everything in so it looked right.
Nice. I was just wondering, where's that PR? How's that doing? Did we do that? Nice. I like it. That will be an exciting update to the board later. Yeah. So our primary goal for this was to clarify that someone who is a shadow for the sub-project lead role is someone who is going to take over that lead role, and also that there are requirements to become a shadow, especially for the sub-project lead. So we'd appreciate reviews if folks are interested in that.
Or if you feel
Oh, I
like
don't have the
something's
chat.
missing, definitely reach out. Let us know.
Yep.
Because
And so that leads
you all see what we do all the time. We don't sometimes realize what we do all the time.
truth. It's so useful to have Avinash on that meeting, who is
Yes, it was.
our shadow for sub-project lead, and he was able to be like,
What about this? What about that?
about that thing? Yep.
It's good stuff.
And so that leaves the social media lead and the tech lead. Oh yeah, thank you for grabbing the pull requests.
Yeah.
I'll put that into the notes as well. But social media lead and tech lead still need to make updates to clarify requirements to become a shadow.
I still need to diagram some of our automation too. I know that's on the list.
Yeah, that is on the list.
I need to just
I think
find
that's in
like
the
a
table.
mermaid JS client and be done with it.
Yeah, probably. That is what we were saying. We were talking about that. All right. So any questions, comments about lead roles and shadow role updates before we move on to the next item? All right. And that will come up again anyway, because it's in the board. So the only other thing I added in here is KubeCon tweets, which is also in the board, so I didn't need to put it here, but I did anyway. Oh, I already had this open. Whatever. Now I have it open twice. I'll close that one. We'll go with this one. So several of you on here today are interested in helping me out with managing the KubeCon tweets process. For those who are new, this is one of your 2 projects that could use your help. So I created a KubeCon NA 2023 tab last time we were on this call last week. I spent some time last night and this morning setting up this page. Essentially, and I just copied this one over. I don't actually want to leave it here, but I wanted to leave it here for this meeting to give an example of what this looks like. So we've got the tweet area, tweet row, column. There we go. That's the word. Tweet column of the sheet where folks will fill in the, oh, I'm going to change that to post actually, since that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So we'll need to spread this around. We want lots of folks to join in with this. This is a really approachable project. If folks are interested in helping, you would take a look at the sheet. We have a description in for each of the posts that we need to write about KubeCon. And you would put yourself as owner, and then you would write that tweet. One thing I want us to talk about today is the yeah, thank you, Nitish. We need to talk about the deadline. We want to set a deadline for folks contributing posts to be done writing their posts. And any posts that are not written by that point, it will be up to us who are managing this process to write those. As you can see, I started changing the dates to match KubeCon North America. I just copied all of this stuff from the KubeCon EU one. So that's how I got the colors, and also all of these descriptions are just copied over from there. And the dates. Most of the times are the same. Like I took a look at this first day of the actual event itself on the maintainer track block times, and these were right. There was one extra one for this day, but oh no, I don't think there was even. Maybe there was one extra. No, I think it was all the same actually. So the times I think are all good to go. Probably we should double check that. But also we need to change the dates on all of these, obviously. So they're color coded by date theoretically. So November 5th, November 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Yes, we absolutely should share it in Slack to ask folks to write tweets. I usually post it in ContribEx. If you have other ideas for places where you'd like to put it, I'm good with that. We did just create a new contributors channel of some sort. Yeah, Kubernetes new contributors. So that might be a good place for us to put it. Let me put that in the notes. Post. I think I usually do post the link to the sheet directly. Post sheet, a bit of info about the project in Slack, SIG ContribEx, and Kubernetes new contributors, maybe? Cool. And the other thing I need folks to help with is make sure dates and times for posting and in description are correct.
And I think
Cool.
one helpful tip here is that everything's kind of already written for you, right? Like schedules published, there'll be emails sent out. All these things are kind of copy paste from other communiques that happen. So
And
it's not like,
also, we have 5 KubeCons worth of
Right.
examples. You can
Yes.
literally just go pull one from there and just change if it's a maintainer track block, then change the topics that are going to be talked about in the maintainer track block. Or like this one, I pulled literally from Europe and I just changed the word Amsterdam to Chicago.
done.
Done.
So yeah, all the details and such should be handled from the contributor summit side, com side. So yeah, don't.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we should talk with Avinash about contributor summit tweets that he wants.
Yeah.
Posts. So Jay.
Yeah, so while working on the last KubeCon 2023, I saw that many, some schedule was not matching to the previous ones, and since we are just copy and pasting it, we should first set the we should just first set the times, date and times from the schedule. Then we should ask folks to write the rules.
Yep.
If we don't
Makes
do that,
sense.
they will find it confusing.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's great point.
Yeah, I guess I did not mention the order of those things. This needs
Yeah.
to be done before the other one.
Right. Kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you.
the schedule is a schedule out yet? I haven't heard.
The schedule for KubeCon, yeah, it's out.
Okay, good.
Came out at the end of August.
Oh. How did
Which
I
is
miss
why
that?
this is kicking off.
I'll blame old age.
Yeah. Cool.
And
So
we did talk. I think yesterday we talked about KubeCon China coming up, and that we weren't like there's people there that are going to cover it, not us particularly.
mhm.
Yeah, we mentioned that briefly. So if you go to the contributor site and you're like, "Oh, China, we're not doing anything for that," well, there's people in country that will. So yeah.
We'll probably want to do something for India though.
Yes. Totally. I feel
Everybody's-
like we could really we could really do a lot of good there, I feel like.
It's gonna be awesome. I hope lots of you get to go. If you want to submit something to the CFP whenever that opens, whenever they actually officially announce that that's a real thing. Happy to help review and brainstorm ideas. Awesome.
Also, the schedule is not published yet.
For KubeCon NA, it is.
The contributor summit schedule?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the event itself.
No,
No,
the
the
event.
contributor
The
summit.
event. No, that
schedule
I
is not.
know. The event. That's what I was wondering. I was like, wait, how did I miss
Sorry,
that? Yeah, no, I know the.
misunderstood.
I know
Correct.
the CFP and KubeCon schedules out, but yeah, the summit was what I was referring to. Sorry.
Yeah, the summit is not. We haven't traditionally posted about like the whole schedule of the contributor summit, but that would be really cool to do. Now that we have so many more people working on this project, maybe we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you don't have people that sign up to do it, then that might be a indication that it's either A, misunderstood, or B, not needed. You know?
Well, I think
I mean, it would be
thus
great.
far,
Don't get me wrong, to like call it out and do it, but I feel like if
yeah,
we set everything up in advance and stuff slips, that's always an issue. So
that's true. Contributor summit is a little more
loosey goosey.
fluid
Yeah.
than the main event. It's a fair point.
So yeah, I mean, I love the idea of doing that, but I just think managing it the day of is something that we have to do too. So
Yeah, which traditionally we haven't done a whole lot of. We've done a little
no,
bit.
yeah,
We could do more.
yeah, yeah. We
We'll
don't
see.
have to kill ourselves with just tweeting. But
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
Oh, it's only 39 tweets.
Yeah, Bishal. So you will want to be one of the contributors of posts is where we would need your help. Like we said, we don't have all of the dates completely sorted out yet. But I think most of them, at least through here, I think is right. I went through and checked these. So we just need to change these dates to November 6th and November 7th. If Bishal or anyone else wants to go through right now and just change those dates for me, I would appreciate that. So through the November 7th posts, I think you can claim right now. So in order to claim it, you would go to the owner column, put your Zitter handle in or Zitter or Mastodon.
The social network formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah. Or just put your name in. However you would like to indicate I am going to write this post. Take a look at the descriptions, whichever ones are most interesting to you. If you need any help, reach out to me. Perfect. So yeah, you can go ahead and do that now through the November 7th block. So all of these blue ones here. Once the screen starts, I haven't actually checked that these are correct. But that won't take us long.
Good.
I might get to it first. We'll see. But yeah, if anyone wants to go in that sheet right now and change April 18th to November 6th and April 19th to November 7th, I think those ones would all be good to go. And there's also instructions in the sheet in the first tab. So if you're curious about what to do or why you're doing it, there is some text there to help you understand.
Is this owned by is the doc owned by ContribEx or is it owned by you?
It is in the comms
Okay, cool.
or
So
drive. We figured that out and sorted that out last time.
yeah. Okay, so folks can get to it and access it.
Should be able to, yes.
They don't need to be added, right? Like they're already in. Got it. Yep.
I think the world has,
all
anyone
that,
with the link is an editor.
There you go. Okay. Someone can come in here and blow it up if we want.
They absolutely could. Please don't.
No, please don't. Also versioning in Google Docs.
Yeah, we would have versions only if they like somehow deleted it from the
entire thing. Yeah.
drive, which is probably theoretically possible, but please don't. Thank you to whoever is going in and changing those dates. Appreciate it. Anything else to cover there?
Think so.
Good. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. Nitish, Arpit, Sujay, you've all done this before, so I appreciate your help. Right here, this column, the
Column
owner
F.
column,
Yeah.
column F. For whichever ones you want to do. If you want to write the badge pickup reminder, then you put your name there. If you want to write the reminder about the Kubernetes Contributor Summit and Day Zero events, there. If you want to look at the KubeCon schedule and see which talks are happening at 11 in the maintainer track, and then write a tweet about that, then you put your name there.
And keep in mind, folks, these tweets all get put into Buffer and shipped out across the social networks we're connected to there. So
yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. All
you
you
don't have to worry about posting or automation or anything. That's done.
All contributors have to do is just write the tweet in the doc. And then Sujay, Arpit, and Nitish, it'll be up to us to get them added into Buffer.
I feel like that's a divide and conquer kind of thing we could take care of in a day.
Yeah. Oh, I love that there are so many people who are interested in helping with this now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Bashal, if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm happy
any
to
of
help.
us.
Yeah.
If you go to SIG ContribEx comms in
I'll grab the link.
Slack, you can find us all there. If you ask questions in that channel, other people might benefit from it too. So you can ping us directly if you'd prefer, but would recommend asking in the channel.
There's the link.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions about KubeCon tweets? Oh, right. I wanted to set up a deadline for writing tweets. I am going to be out October 7th to 30th-ish.
Haslam's out the month of
Basically.
October. I expect everything to shake loose all of a sudden. Emergency comms left and right. You know, that's just how this will go.
You know, everything will go wrong. And so I get back with 1 week to go till the event.
Oh,
I would prefer that this be done by the time I get back. So we should probably set.
who do you want to
probably set-
own this in the interim while you're gone, I guess?
Sujay, Nitish, and Arpit are all interested in
Perfect.
helping. Sujay and Nitish have helped before. Arpit is getting up to speed on social media stuff. So the three of you, with your powers combined, can easily handle this.
Yes.
Your
Let me
hardest
know.
thing might
Yeah.
be working together to figure out who owns what.
Right. To be honest
Well,
with you,
I'm
just
gone.
like count them up and divide by number of people, and yeah, Kaz and I can work on scheduling things if necessary in Buffer.
Yeah. And you'll still have Chris here if you need to
Yeah.
solve any conflicts.
Assuming Chris isn't buried in weird stuff.
Yeah. So a couple options for dates we can set. There are two, well, there's one main date that we need. Deadline for contributors to write posts. Probably October either 20th or 27th.
Say 20th, just to be
Probably
safe.
20th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we do post on like Slack and stuff, let's tell everyone, also Bishal, since you're interested in helping out, thank you for being willing to write posts. We would like those posts to be written by October 20th. And then that gives us 2 weeks, 1 week without me, 1 week with me, to get any unwritten posts written. So I will probably not remember what's going on at all when I get back, but I will try to make sure to put it on my calendar all over the place to spend a little bit of time checking over these, making sure that we've got all of the tweets written.
Yeah, if y'all wrap earlier than that, or you need my help, just tag me in. And you know, if you're like, hey, we're done, can you proofread it? That's fine. I'll totally do that and start pushing things over to Buffer if necessary too. So yeah, let me know.
So you'll want to have the remaining tweets written by the 27th. I would say written and added to buffer.
Yeah.
Write remaining tweets and add all tweets to buffer by October 27th.
You put another buy in there. It's an SIG song.
Put another what in there?
Buy.
Byline?
Buffer, bye.
Oh.
So if you said bye, there you go.
Gotcha. Then you would be a boy band from the
90s.
90s, early 2000s. How does that count?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Anyway.
know my wife's all giddy about them getting back together. That's all I know.
Oh, is that what that was about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Also, we should probably put those deadlines, like that timeline, in here somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put it. I've never done that before.
I would say the instructions page, but that
Yeah,
might
probably above
not-
here.
Yeah, that might not get.
I'm gonna put it in above here.
Yeah, like big bold.
Yeah. All right. Posts. Thinking of creating a separate group on Slack to divide the tasks there. Yep, you should add
Totally.
Sujay, yourself, obviously, Arpit, and me. And we can just make a little DM group for this project. Thank you, Nitish, for offering to do that. I don't know how all I can make this super obvious, but
Size 24. I don't know.
yeah, I think
There
so.
you go. That'll work.
Post due by October 20th. The only thing people will read on this page.
Probably right, but that's fine.
It's fine. It exists
Totally fine.
for the rare person who wants to actually read it. Cool. Yeah, it's already after 8:30. Think we've covered everything we need to cover here.
Yeah.
So hopefully you all will have all of the tweets written and added into buffer by the time I get back.
We could take that goal.
Yeah. If you do really, really need me for something, I will be reachable through Slack, but I doubt that you'll need me. You all can figure this out. You're smart. You've got Chris in the worst case. Sujay's done this before and Tish has done this before. Y'all got this. All right. So with that, I'm going to move on from KubeCon tweets unless there are any other things people want to talk about with it. I'd recommend we talk about it on Slack from here.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Thank you, everyone who's interested in helping with that. This is a great project for new contributors. So if you know folks who want something to do within the project, point them our way. You don't have to understand GitHub. You write something small with guidance on exactly what you need to write, and then it gets shared with everyone, and we thank you publicly. So great work for new contributors. And with that, let's move into the board. All
I feel like
right.
that should be a sound effect for that.
Right? Should be. I should have sound effects. I should run this whole thing like a podcast. I need one of those. What are those things that you have on
Bumper.
your desk and it has all the buttons?
Oh, I have one. It's called a Stream Deck.
Stream Deck. I don't have a Stream Deck.
So I got it when I finally bought Elgato lights because
Oh,
I got
yeah.
tired of reaching up to turn them on.
Yeah, I am also tired of that. All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Elgato lights are what I need, huh?
They're not cheap, but yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'll come back to that KubeCon and A1. All right. We're diving into the board. This is another way that we track our work. It is on GitHub. We've got stuff in here today. First one, improve shadow requirements for blogging lead. This was approved last week and it is now merged. Thank you everyone who was involved with that. That has changed. Yep, it was awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that over to done. Next item that's ready for review, the release team blog. Nitish, you said this was in GitHub now, right?
Yep. So the discussion is going on, I think, and Federico has also marked the suggestions. There are certain certain suggestions that Federico and Tim has already been provided. So once we are done with that, I think we'll be releasing it very shortly.
Excellent. Could you send me the link to that? Actually, we probably have it in the notes, don't we? From last time.
It should be in the board as well.
On the board? Well, we have it
Oh.
here, but we
Okay,
don't
but
have
yeah.
the link.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think
Here.
it's it should be.
Is there a separate one?
Yeah, likely. Can you go?
Yep,
is it-
I'm sending it. Yeah.
If not, just do one thing. Click the add item on the ready for review column.
I sent it in the chat.
Yeah, but it's easy to add to the column is better to do it like this. It's easier. Type
Yep, 4254.
yeah, contributor site. That's the
Yeah,
first.
contributor.
No, it's the
Is it-
first. Yeah.
Is
yeah.
it in site?
And
All
now
right, 424.
it's the first one. Yeah.
You can also just type the number and it comes up.
Yeah. If you're on the right repo, yes.
Yep.
Perfect. I think that's it.
So I will delete this one then.
Archive it. Don't. Well, yeah, that's fine. Do whatever. I don't care. It's GitHub's data.
Archived. Never to be heard from again.
Right,
Cool.
but maybe analyzed.
I think the owner's files update is done. That one we should also add as a
Oh, did we do the Twitter repo though?
item.
I forget.
Oh.
Uh,
Which is why it's useful to have the note version as well.
right. Are we so
Let's see.
I don't think there's a way to automate from GitHub into Buffer tweets or anything for that matter, to be honest.
Right.
It might be time to let Twitter together go completely.
I think I'm in favor.
Because I know we're A, out of date, B, I think it might have broken due to API changes anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm in favor. We should probably ask Sujay, what is your opinion?
Yeah, we still need to sit down with Nigel Sujay at some point and just hammer all this out.
Yeah, actually, we started a group and we created a group to start the discussion, but I took a short break because of my shoulder pain. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
I totally get it, dude. I totally get it.
yeah,
Preaching to the
No.
choir. Trust me.
but now it's better.
Good.
I'll look into it and create the doc and share in that group. So
Thank you.
That is a new item that I should add in here. Why is the contributor? Does this thing not even have access to the contributor tweets?
Probably not. The
Yeah,
comp status
contributor
board
tweets
is
isn't-
under community, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't seem to know
Contributor
about the
tweets is off
contributor tweets
to the
repo.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in SIGs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bishal's, you're ahead of us. Already interested in the Spotlight blogs. Yep, that is the other thing, the other project that I mentioned that would be a good fit for you. We'll talk about those momentarily.
Yep.
Oh, I accidentally locked my computer. I added the link to that PR in the board item for updating the owner's files, but that's already done. It's
Oh, wait.
merged.
Is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
In
look, it's
tweets, at
done
least.
finally.
I think we had already done it in our regular repo, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so I think we're done with that, and I'm going to move it to Jen.
Yeah, I know we've changed
All right.
the main repo
Yeah.
owners file a few times now. So yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. So we already talked about that one. Add SIG architecture conformance spotlight interview. Frederica.
That has got the okay from the author, and I'll likely just remove the work in progress today after I'll do some minor spell check, etc. So
Oh,
that should be
Wonderful.
the first one out.
Awesome.
awesome.
I've been a bit this week has been awful because I've been traveling, and also it was the first second week of the release, lots of stuff going on. I'm severely
Yeah.
backlogged in Slack and others, so but I did address some of the things in here, like with the article from Nitish yesterday. I provided some content, great stuff there also. And on this SIG architecture, I have in ACMD the second one, which is around production readiness. Okay, so I think I'll add an issue and do it like that. I mean, I guess it's good because it provides a more it provides additional statistics to what we do. So
Yeah. A more structured process.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Thank you, Frederica.
Yeah.
Um,
if it's adequate, I can also provide a quick feedback on the other SIG architecture ones, because it's
Yeah.
quick. So
that is the first one. So
oh yeah, exactly. So that's actually a placeholder for the 5 different ones. So one is as in PR, the other is in ACMD. The third one is being worked on and as content in docs. There are 2 missing, which I contacted the authors this week. One is organization, the other is enhancements, and they're delayed. I've shared our roadmap, so we plan to have one of this out once per month, and we started now. So this at least provides a more rigid deadline, which I think people actually like, because it's something palpable that they have to work towards. And that's it. I can update that link, or you can do it as well. So that's done. The one on enhancements is the other one being worked on, which leaves us the other 2. So actually, Madhav just sent me a target date for October now, and Cousin Liggett also updated me in saying that he's restructuring his priorities in order to be able to provide something, but still only. I mean, there's no content there yet.
awesome. And I think with our ready for review spotlights covered and the beginnings of our in progress ones, might be a good time for us to go over the concept of the spotlight blogs for Bishal.
Yes.
Do you want to take it on, Frederica?
Yeah,
Shall I give
sure.
my usual spiel?
No, go on. You do it. You do it much better than I do. So go on.
All right, I have done it a lot. So, the Spotlight blog series is a evergreen project in our group. We basically always have work to do there and could always use help. The idea of the project is to interview the leads of the different SIGs within Kubernetes, and there are like 50 some SIGs or something like that. So we're never going to run out of SIGs to interview for these,
Or
basically.
working groups or sub projects or yeah.
Yeah, working groups also welcome. We've been splitting up some of these into sub projects lately.
There's the full
It's a
SIG
great
list.
yeah.
Yeah. In case you want.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome to look through the SIG list, and if there's one that particularly interests you, we can check if we've done a spotlight on them recently. If we have, then you might want to pick a different one. But if it's been like 2 years, there are a few that we did a couple of years ago. Those are also free game if you want to do those over again, because things change so much. This is a great project because for you, you get to interview usually the co-chairs of the SIG and learn about what they're all about. And then you teach other people what that SIG is all about. So it's a great opportunity for you to learn and to help the project by hopefully encouraging more people to get involved with those special interest groups. Also, SIG stands for Special Interest Group. And so each SIG covers topics like we've got SIG architecture, we've got a SIG testing spotlight article in play, which we'll go over in a minute. We've got the one for SIG release that Tish is working on. In our to-do column, we have a couple called out that haven't been done yet. If you're interested in SIG API machinery, sounds boring, actually very interesting SIG in my opinion. And we also have SIG K8's infra, which is so critical to the project. Also, each SIG is interesting in its own unique ways. But here are a couple that no one has taken on. So if you want to just grab one of these two, those are up for grabs. But like we said, you can also go through the SIG list and tell us what you're interested in. So the process basically, like I said, is you claim it, let us know which one you're going to do. Then you reach out to that special interest group in Slack and say, hello, I'm from Contributor Comms and I would like to write a spotlight blog about your SIG. Who should I talk to? Usually they'll say the co-chairs. It's possible that they could point you to someone else. Then you reach out to those, whoever they pointed out as your contact directly, and set up an interview with them. We usually recommend writing out your interview questions in a doc and then working on it asynchronously because that makes writing the blog post easier later. And also if you do it in a call and then record it, then you have to transcribe it. So it adds some friction to the process generally. Kind of depends on how you work though. There's no rule. So write up some questions. Most folks usually look into the documentation about the SIG a little bit so that they know at least a little bit about the SIG before they write up the questions for the interview. So gather the information that you think you need about what the SIG is and why it's cool and why people should join it, and then write the blog post. And all of this stuff is in instructions in our repo, which Federico maintains and has written, and it's wonderful. So definitely check that out. Trying to see if I can find that real quick. Okay, here we go. Contributor comms, blogging resources. So you can find all of the information like the SIG Spotlight blog process here. Is Kate's infra done? Someone do that? Arpit mentioned it. Why is it in to do if it is done? Well, anyway, we'll double check on that if you're interested in it. Any questions about SIG Spotlights? We've got 10 minutes left, so we need to run through the rest of the agenda probably. Welcome to ask in chat if you have any questions. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Thank you for the explanation of regarding the SIG Spotlight. And I'm really looking forward to it to just contribute and let you know just whatever SIG just I'm choosing right now on the Slack itself. And we'll move forward to just write down all the questions regarding the interview and send you all the questions for the review. If you like it, to just move ahead and schedule the interview with the coach as well.
Perfect. And
so much.
If you're familiar with Nitish, you mentioned that you talked to him before. He's working on one right now and has been around for a while, so he can also help to guide you. And Frederico's also super approachable. He's our blogging lead, so he can handle any questions you have.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you for your interest. Cool. Oh yeah. Thank you, Arpit, for finding that. Let me update that. If that note doesn't have that. Yeah, old blog for reference. Oh, Sundapan was going to take this on.
Oh, cool.
Sundapan, are you working on the infra one?
No, I
Okay.
went with stick testing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Going with SIG testing.
Oh,
I'm just
so-
gonna old
yeah.
blog for reference. Folks are welcome to take this one on if they want to. Very good. Thank you. If I had just
For-
clicked on it, we would have
yeah, for
answered that question
Kate's-
more quickly.
For Kate SIG Infra, I think it'd be important to touch on. They're the folks behind the registry change. They're the folks behind all these URLs and backends changing and managing CDNs and the project spend and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Probably be a major highlight.
Yeah. Context for everyone. The project keeps almost running out of money each year for the last couple of years. It's very frightening. And so we're doing a lot of stuff within the project to try to prevent that.
Yes.
And Kate's Infra is at the center of that. So it's a very interesting SIG that is critical to the ongoing health of the project.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to even type that. All right. Anyway, we have less than 10 minutes left, 8 minutes left. So I'm going to see if we can run through the in progress stuff quickly. Apologies to everyone. I usually love hearing everyone's updates, but I'll ask you to keep your updates short and we'll see how many we can get through. SIG testing spotlight article. Sandipan. Updates?
Yes, I reached out to the 6 chairs this week. They are busy at the moment, so they will not be able to work on it for now. Maybe we'll just wait.
Frederico's suggestion of setting a deadline might be useful for you. Might talk with Frederico more about that. That's super
Yeah.
common also. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Um,
Frederico?
sometimes it's hard because I mean, we know that people are buried in work, but I think it works reasonably well if you provide deadlines, even if they break the deadlines, because after the second time, I mean, people tend to feel a bit more guilty. So
Yep.
True.
And the next one is also you, Frederico, and I'll get to Fika's comment in a moment. But book reading club.
book reading club talked with Carlos early in the week. He said he was interested in adding, but was still a bit delayed. Told me to check again in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I'm to ping him in more or less 2 weeks. I'm going to ask him what's the status and if he needs a couple more days or not. So you can put 2 weeks there.
Okay. Also, Bob had asked about the CNCF versus Kubernetes thing. Even in the CNCF Slack, it says Kubernetes book club.
Yeah.
So I think it's still Kubernetes focused. I'll mention that.
And worst case scenario, we do the interview, and if it's not adequate, well, it isn't. I mean, we'll see. It still has the Kubernetes focus completely. For me, the only thing that changed was that now it has CNCF sponsorship, and one of the things that I ask is what exactly does that change in terms of the book club? But the content, the scope, the people there, it's all around Kubernetes.
Should get more answers in about 2 weeks, right? Updating that. Thank you, Frederico. let's move on.
you.
Normally, I would want to talk more about that, but Zapier stuff. Anything important to go over there, Chris?
Not yet. The automation is working again. If you didn't hear in other meetings, like apparently it just stopped and started again. So Nigel, I don't think Nigel or Sujay changed anything there, and it just started working according to Nigel. So
that's
yeah,
good.
more weirdness around Zapier, but I guess that's to be expected when they're trying to juggle all the APIs of all the services and everything. So it happens.
And I'll take an aside here for FICA's comment in the chat, which I think is
Yes.
a very interesting one for us to discuss.
Mhm.
Last week in Kubernetes development, we have talked like for years about our group taking more ownership of last week in Kubernetes development. And now they're in our Slack channel, which is wonderful. And FICA is contributing to it. So it feels like it's kind of finally happening. I think it makes sense for us to track last week in Kubernetes development stuff in our board. Chris is nodding. Looks like he agrees.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like our, any facilitation that we're doing to help out or anything like that, we should definitely track it, right? Like, I don't think the LLWKD team has to use our board, like, but for the stuff we're doing, like, hey, you want us to review an issue template? Totally. Yeah, like that makes sense.
That's what it says. Issue template. I'm just going to call it LWKD issue template. And I'm going to add that in here. So this means that we'll double check next week that we actually got this done.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
FICA.
one suggestion, FICA, instead of why is this needed, say, why is this important? Because that'll drive a different conversation about users need feature. It's more like story-like, I guess.
Really? I consider them to be the same.
Yeah. Why is this needed? Why is this important?
Yeah. The reason
Okay.
it's needed is because it's important.
Why is this required?
Who's on first?
Federico,
Why not?
opinions?
Why is this required? Just to add more fuel to the fire.
Right. Do you have a cap?
I think either way, but important might be a little bit better because it does focus in on like that's the real question that you need to answer.
Like, why is it important to whomever would use it, to end users, to maintainers, to contributors?
Which is hopefully also why it's needed.
Right.
So I think either one is fine, but
yeah, I mean, whatever you think would work better and get you the results you want, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, FICA, for that. We've only got 2 minutes left.
As far as your checklist, I think that's great. I can't think of anything extra that I would add.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for doing a quick review of it during the meeting.
No problem. Yeah, open a PR.
You. Why are you laughing? I'm laughing because it's almost the end of the meeting and I'm nervous about it. I laugh when I'm nervous. That is the truth.
50 seconds. No pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get an update from Arpit real quick on SIG node.
Yep. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Is he?
So basically,
I can hear him.
Asked the.
Yeah, I got you. Sorry.
So basically, I asked the chairs for the interview, but I didn't got any response. So after a couple of days, basically today only, I asked them again, tagging them specifically. So what they want is they want the spotlight to be highlighting a specific project, which is a sidecar cap. So I need to reframe some of the questions regarding them and then proceed the interview.
Wonderful. Thank you. super common to ask and not get a response at first. Everyone's busy. So thank you for pushing on that and doing it again. That's part of how this
Also,
works.
I want to ask if someone can explain what is a sidecar. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like you want to do it, Chris.
Kubernetes components? Yeah. I don't
Both of
care
us
who
are
does it, to
excited.
be honest with you. I'm probably semi-qualified.
Go for it.
So a
It is
sidecar.
also 9 if you need to go, but
No,
we
I
appreciate
don't.
this.
And if
Okay, I don't need to
like,
either.
stick with me here. So a pod, by definition, in the Kubernetes like docs, is one or more containers. And the pod being the lowest level of work in Kubernetes, you could have your application and a front end for it running the same pod. That front end would be a sidecar essentially, but you can also add things like service meshes as a sidecar, or monitoring, or telemetry, whatever you want can be in a pod. And sidecars usually refer to things like Istio, Linkerd, tracing, OpenTelemetry. There's a lot of things you can do with sidecars, but yeah, a pod is not always a single container, I think, is the biggest takeaway. You can have multiple things running in that one pod, doing things on your behalf, monitoring security, whatever you want it to do. It's just another container.
The way that we think about running things in Kubernetes basically is I have this thing that I need Kubernetes to run, like Nginx or whatever application you need it to run. And you think about that as a pod. You can make a bunch of copies of it. If
Auto scale
one of
it,
them,
whatever you got to do.
if one of them goes down, Kubernetes will automatically try to bring one back up. Kubernetes will take care of that application for you. So you generally think of a pod as like a single thing. But Istio and other things use the sidecar thing to put things like monitoring and other stuff right there with the workload. Nice thing about 2 containers in a pod, or terrible thing, depending on how you try to use it, is that both containers, or as many containers are in that pod, share the same storage space, they share the same IP address, they share the same networking,
Resources,
they share
the whole 9
basically
yards.
all of the resources. And so that means that if you put a container right next to the application you actually care about, if traffic is coming in trying to get to your application, you can use a sidecar to intercept that traffic and say, hey, are you allowed to talk to this application before it actually gets to the application itself?
Yes.
There's all sorts of cool things you can do with that. You can also like grab logs from the application. Without having to change the application itself, you can get more information about how it's working by having a sidecar right there next to it.
Yeah, a lot of
Does that
people
help?
use it for many, many things.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So basically, if I need to summarize it, basically sidecar is an extension for a pod which helps to like verify whether what to actually function and what to not. If I understand it right.
That's one
That's
piece
one.
of functionality, right? Like it's
Yeah.
not just security. It could be security. It could be logging. It could be telemetry, monitoring, networking, proxy servers. Like if it can run in a container, it could be a sidecar in theory.
It
So,
adds cool functionality to your application without having to change the app itself.
right. You
Basically
just-
like
Such
Chrome
as.
extensions.
Let me see if there's like a training course real quick.
I'm sure there are many.
Speaking of training courses, we were promised that the whole GitHub workspace thing is going to work by Kubernetes. So there's that.
What did you say it was like, Arpit? I didn't hear you.
I said basically sidecars are like Chrome extensions which can basically work.
Oh, Chrome
basically integrate
extensions.
anything.
That's an interesting analogy.
Comparison.
Yeah,
I think it can kind of work. Yeah.
might work. Yeah,
Kind of like a Chrome extension for your application.
we could totally workshop it and figure it out. Yeah. I like it. I like comparisons like that. People kind of grok things better that way.
Cool. So you're going to look up more about sidecars. Sounds like SIG is moving along as best it can. And we are
the-
5 minutes over. If folks
Sure.
need to go, you're welcome to. If folks can stay a few minutes, we'll try to go through more of the in-progress items. We already talked about SIG release with Nitish. You do have 2 pieces to that. That's one of those where we've split the SIG up into 2 sub-projects, and we're doing blogs on both of the sub-projects. So one of them is in review. Any updates about the other, Nitish?
There are no updates for that. I talked with Marco regarding the same, and he said like, let's focus on what we are building right now, and it's better because along the way you'll be learning about what are the rules of the release managers, and along the way you will be figuring out the question that needs to be asked. So it's better you focus on the current mentorship, and along the way you'll be having a bunch of questions to ask the release managers. So there are no updates like that. I'm still figuring out the questions.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for all of the work that you're doing in release. It's awesome to see.
Hell yeah.
All right. Subproject lead shadow requirements. Done.
Done.
Skipping ready for
Yay.
review. All the way to done. Probably
You're all welcome to review them and
Yeah.
add whatever you want or ask questions, whatever you want to do there. Yeah.
the repo is a living space. If you see the things that need fixing or could be clearer, let us know. We appreciate the input. Tech lead shadow requirements. Sajay, we should talk about that at some point. Don't have to worry about it right now. It'll basically be updating the tech lead role. I'm just going over what we have for that. I'm going to skip that. Steering election comms as needed. Thank you very much, Arpit. Hopefully you can stick around. I think we've been sticking around for like an hour after this to go over all of that. So today will be our last one of these, I think, actually. Our last election comms will be sorted out today, I think.
Nice.
I actually haven't sent out any of the ones that we confirmed last time. They are approved by the election officers. The dates we had for sending them out, I think the first one goes out tomorrow. But we have
Tomorrow
2
or
more
Monday?
to review today. I think I have it set for tomorrow because tomorrow is a week from the deadline.
Got it.
Yeah. I also questioned it, but also I didn't get around to sending it earlier this week, so I'm just gonna roll with it, I think.
Fair.
So we'll talk more about that after the meeting. And social media lead requirements. Also, Arpit, I've been pinging you on Slack. I set up a meeting for us for next week to do that. Spotlight on the contributor summit, Federico. Any updates there? Federico's still on. Yes.
Yes, I thought I went this week.
You're kind of a robot.
You are heavily digitized right now. Sorry.
Yeah. I already work. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, should be better.
There we go.
Yes, much
Cool.
better.
Yes. Yeah, I was writing stuff in the background.
That'll do it.
I've talked with Noah this week, and he provided me with a new target date. I don't have it here right now. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. But now I can't find it because I killed the browser. So,
That's fine.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
I'll just put the note that a target date has been set, and we'll check up on it again next week.
Yeah.
Okay. That's and I can add it in half an hour. So yeah.
That's true. Sounds good. Thank you. And then the last thing in progress was the KubeCon tweets, which we've already been over at length.
Yes.
I'll check over to do real quick. Like we said, API machinery is available. Kate's infra is available for spotlights. Someday we'll do guidelines for sensitive and user impacting comms. We talked
Oh,
about that a little bit this week, actually.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk to Bob about it, but I kind of want to talk to Bob about it with you because I feel like you understand the nuances between steering and us better than maybe Bob does. As far as like, no, we actually do get involved in that for many reasons. Yeah.
I would not claim that normally, but if you say so, I'll take that.
Call it a compliment.
I
and
know
an
things.
ask at the same time. Yeah.
I'll take it. Cool. I like that idea. We should set that up. I'm going to be gone in 3 weeks. So deadlines. That's why stuff is getting done right now.
This might be a
Promoting the new
contributor summit thing too that we could do.
True. If you're
'cause
there,
everybody will be there, and that would be kind of cool, right? Like,
that would be cool.
just have a little meeting real quick to talk about the crisis comms that we have to send out. And unfortunately, you know, there'll be a memorial for those folks, so it'll be fresh on everybody's mind that
That's true.
you know, things happen in our community that affect way more than just the people of the community, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Steering will be there, so we can talk to them about that. We can discuss what we want it to look like.
Yeah.
What we think it'd be most useful for it to look like. Cool. We'll talk more about that next week. Maybe we should talk about it on Slack and figure out a strategy. See if we can set up a meeting with Bob. New contributor workshop. I think you already mentioned that we are still planning to have something by
Still
KubeCon.
Planning, not
seeing
there's
it, but
I did see a lot of activity earlier this week around the discussion of running workspaces inside KK, which is kind of a sticking point right now. They have those disabled, like all the extra GitHub features are disabled in Kubernetes/Kubernetes on GitHub. But that discussion's happening, so I'm very happy that it is.
And the last item in our to-do list is notify comms team when a new issue is created, which is just something that we want to continue to investigate and see if we can do a better job of. So that's something for Sujay to look into at some point when he's bored.
You know, you might want to work with a Slack admin on that. I feel like that could be a Zapier thing pretty quickly, but we would need to
There's a ton of notes in here.
Yeah, we would need to attach some stuff to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The GitHub notifications are just a dumpster fire. For if you star or follow more than like 10 projects, it just becomes unwieldy. And I know I'm in like 10 orgs on GitHub, so my notifications are just awful. And I use the mobile app more than anything else to get those.
The app is so good.
I know. It really solves the problem of the desktop notification thing.
Yeah. And that is the board. Only 13 minutes late.
But you're going to be gone in October, and this is important.
That's true. That's true. We've only got 3 more of these meetings with me. Let me see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 more of these meetings with me before I'm out for 3. 2 or 3.
No, I'm putting Halloween as your end date.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's like when I'll be back is basically Halloween. Our meeting isn't on Halloween though, is it? Because 30th is Monday, so Halloween must be Tuesday. Sad. I would absolutely 100% dress up, so.
Oh, you know, the 30th is my son's birthday, though. You could dress up for that.
Well, 30th is Monday, so we also don't have this meeting then.
Oh, that's right. We have a planning meeting. Duh.
I could show up on November 3rd in my Halloween costume. I might do that. We'll see. All right. Cool. So I'll give us 1 minute if anyone has any questions they want on the recording for our friends on YouTube. Last time we skipped the meetings for the KubeCon timeline. This time it's different. What do you mean?
Skip
Oh.
the meetings. Oh,
Wait,
what timeline?
what?
Like tweets or?
I'm not clear. Like last time, if I remember correctly, we don't have meetings when the QCon is scheduled.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, which we
no.
will do again. Yes.
Yeah, we'll clear that out at some point.
Yeah, we
Probably.
will cancel the meeting that week.
Mhm.
So that will be November 10th. We will not have a meeting. I can cancel that actually, like right
Thank you.
now. Let me write it down first.
Okay, so the confusion is because I didn't write will. It's
Ah,
I
there you
accidentally
go.
to ask the question. Will this time it will be different.
No. We will cancel November 10th.
Yeah, like everything, even the TOC meeting might get canceled or will get canceled.
Ooh, another question. Should we
Registry
actively-
migration comms? Where did this come from? Huh.
What?
For the registry migration comms board.
This is new to me.
Yeah, we didn't know there was a
I need to
board.
drop.
Thanks,
to go.
Frederico.
Thanks
Have
so
a great
much,
weekend.
Appreciate
Frederico.
everything.
Yes, bye. Likewise,
Bye.
cheers.
I think this is all done, to be honest with you. I don't think there's anything to do here. This board
Also,
could
I don't
basically
think
be
we
archived.
created this.
No. Like projects in GitHub are owned by the org. So depends on which person in the org created it. Projects are weird, but they work. So I think this board is safe to do away with, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't know. We tried to do that with our old board and it was connected to our repo. So it archived the whole
that's
repo.
right.
So we
Yeah.
probably can't get rid of this, but also we don't care that it
Probably
exists.
right. Yeah, it'd be nice to figure that out. Who am I gonna bug at GitHub today?
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yes,
Did not know that that existed.
likewise. And I
I
also
found it in
remember-
the pinned messages in Slack.
Interesting.
Oh,
In our Slack?
Yeah.
Wow.
Grace pinned
Oh.
it.
All right. Someone in our group maybe made that. Maybe that was a thing at one point.
so I just discovered how to change the name on our board. Like, you know how it says blog posts and not just everything on our board?
That's
Blog
it.
PRs. It says blog PRs. So I'm gonna rename the view to comms. And done. It's that little tab thing hanging out right underneath SIG ContribEx comp status.
Oh,
Remember we tried to edit that a while back and we couldn't ever figure out how?
I see.
Yeah,
Rename view.
kind of
Pretty
nice
simple
now.
now.
Yeah.
We started using these like right when boards came out.
Very
so
beginning.
it
I think
was-
didn't the project beta test these, I think, too?
I think that
Yeah.
sounds like a thing that we would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool.
Now we're almost 20 minutes over. So I'm going to say goodbye to our friends on YouTube and stop the recording. Goodbye, YouTube.